It gets wild. You think to yourself, how interesting could it be for vines to try to eat you? I I cannot explain to you how crazy it gets. I like that the host looks more, but not the host, the guest looks more professional than the host.
No way. No.
More prepared,
No way. Yeah. Well,
better equipped.
well, we'll hold off on more prepared. We'll find out.
Fair enough. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, Paige, thank you so much for joining us here at What Have You Been Reading? We're so excited to have you on our episode today.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, so
And
I'm
welcome
Alex,
to What Have You Been Reading?
just diving right into our madness. Paige is now going to get to see all of the things unedited.
I get to peek behind the curtain.
Good luck.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Alex, and we also have
My name is Carla, and we have a guest today.
Paige is joining us from Canada.
Yeah. The Great White North.
Love it. So we connected with Paige on Instagram, and we love all of the support he throws our way. So we're super excited to have him on our episode today. On the agenda, we have obviously talking about what we've been reading, and then he has a special project he's working on this year that he's going to share out as well. So excited to hear all about that. I'm going to start with our usuals, though, on what other people have been reading.
You've been
So
really active on Instagram lately. I see.
I've been
Yeah.
I've been trying to take some clues from Paige, who's like incredible on the socials.
Okay.
So I'm trying to like just repost a little bit more. I haven't really been able to like comment or do a ton of stuff, but I'm like every now and then I can just share out a little something funny that I see. You know, I try. Let's see. Bree is reading or just finished reading Broken Country by Claire Hall and Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Broken Country was a huge, huge book, I think, in the last couple of years. I read it as well. I think I've talked about it on here before.
Is it the one with the bird on the cover? No, that's
It's kind
Wayward.
of like a landscape, countryside, like a house, I think. It takes place in England.
Oh,
I
okay. I'm
think this is
thinking
the
of the one in
one.
book.
There's like some light cheating involved, possibly. What do you
Okay.
call that?
Cheating. Just cheating.
No, but what's the
Even light
word?
cheating is just cheating.
But there's a word for it that's like evading my brain right now.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Affair.
affair? Yeah, yeah. I did not love the book. It did not live up to the hype for me, but I think it's gotten a lot of recognition. So obviously there's something there.
I have a phrase for it now.
What?
Flirtation plus.
Flirtation plus. Well, I don't think that's severe enough. But I do think that could be a good title for our episode. I would say 99.9% of our episode titles are Carla's because you're so funny.
Thank you.
This is why Carla was supposed to start her own TikTok, which is why we led to this podcast. But it was really just supposed to be Carla.
Apparently I make faces and stuff. I don't know what it is.
You're just amazing. That's what it is.
Thank
I know
you.
what it is.
The last person who realizes their skills and abilities and talents is that person. So
Exactly. See, Carla,
I'll be 70 years old having never made a
accept it.
TikTok.
yeah,
just accept it.
probably not the worst thing in the world.
You know, that's true.
Okay, let's see. Megan finished reading The Most Fun We Ever Had by Claire Lombardo. I read that one a long time ago and it had a pretty deep impact on me. It was like one of the first family dramas I think I read.
Mm.
And my takeaway from that book that has been kind of instrumental in my parenting is that there's no such thing as perfect parenting. Like no matter how great you think you're doing, there's always a tiny little thing that like screws up your kids that you don't even realize you're doing, you know?
Oh,
I know it was a little disappointing, but also a little like there's
it
only so
takes
much you can
a little bit
control.
of pressure away.
I think so. Yeah, like there's no matter what I do, there's going to be something. Like in the book, there were these little scenes where like the adult child is like referencing something that their parents said in passing, like that they thought had no impact whatsoever, but the child held on to it for so long and it impacted who they became an adult. And the parents like, oh my God, I didn't even mean it that way, or I didn't even like realize I said that. Which for one
And the
makes me
issue
feel like I
with
should
those
be,
kinds of statements of like, just like in general, is that even when someone tells you, oh, but that's not how I said it, this is what I meant, even after the explanation has been done, if you ever get that sort of little bow at the end of that, even so, you still continue having that in your head
yeah.
of, okay, but this is how I took it then, and it has affected me this way. So yeah, you're right.
You just never know like what you
No.
say or do and the impact it will have, which I think in general is also a good reminder in life to like, I guess always try your best because you never know when something will go awry. But what was the other part? Oh, like the parents were a really great couple. And one of the kids was like, well, I'm never going to have that. Like, that's such a, like, I'm never going to find what my parents have. Like, Jeff and I have a really great marriage, and I hope we're just a really good example for our kids. But I do wonder on the other end, like, will they always be looking for what we have? And is that realistic? I hope it is for each of them. But am I making any sense? Like,
Yes.
setting a really high standard for someone's relationship, which I want to set. I want my kids to have that. But I don't know. Anyhow, obviously, this book, I had a lot of thoughts about it, and it still to this day is something I think about.
I love
So,
that.
Megan, I hope you're enjoying it. Misty is starting off the year with the Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Lori Gilmore. Love it. I think that's a really sweet, easy way to start the year. Amazing. I think Misty did an A to Z challenge last year. I'm curious to see what she'll do this year for her reading stuff. Waiting for the Worms, which I think Paige maybe is one of your followers that came over to us. So thank you for that. They're reading 100 Years of Solitude by the great Gabriel Garcia
Ugh,
Marquez, which we're a huge fan of over here.
love it.
Carla, yes. And then Carly is reading all sorts of fun stuff. She finished The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy, making her way through Brimstone and The Primal of Blood and Bone. And up next for her is The Strength of the Few, which I'm hoping to join her as well. That one is top of my book stack, literally and figuratively. And then Paige, you had a bunch as well, and I'm just going to let you tell us about what you've been reading.
I did. Sorry, yes. Waiting for the Worms is somebody I've been talking to more recently. So sorry, I was you were saying that, and I was going through chaos, so I had myself muted.
Oh, no worries.
Okay, yeah. So what I've been reading recently, for myself, I've been reading Ant Kind by Charlie Kaufman. Charlie Kaufman does screenwriting too, as well, I believe. He did a lot of the writing for, oh no, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I love that movie.
Yeah. I've never watched it, actually. I've never seen anything he's done yet. And then,
Carla's face.
yeah. And then being John Malkovich, he did as well.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
yeah, I never really paid attention to the the people who aren't in the movie, the ones who put it all together. I've never really.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I started reading this book. I don't even know where the suggestion came from. um, Wherever it came from anyway. I picked it up, and it's about a man who sees this ridiculously long movie. um, it's like a one of one type of thing. The man spent 90 years putting it together. It's 3 months long, and he watched it, and then immediately it burned, and he's trying to remember it because he wants to show everybody. But
The
he's kind of
movie is 3 months long.
3.5 months long. Yeah.
Okay.
So the yeah, it was it was really weird, but he had bathroom breaks all set up. He had, you know, eating breaks and sleeping breaks. And um, I guess the way the book describes it, those breaks are kind of built into the movie as well. So it kind of influences your dreams over that time and things like that. And then now he's in a state of mind where everything's kind of surreal to him, and he's trying to remember this book, and he's going to like a therapist of some sort to have them pull out memories, and it's really good so far. I'm really
Definitely
enjoying it.
sounds like it aligns with the, what is it, the sunshine and the spotless,
Yeah, with the going into
all
your
of
Yeah,
those
brain part.
words
Hmm.
strung
yeah,
together correctly.
yeah. All of the words. It's like a word jumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good so far, and it was something that I just kind of wanted to take my time with this year, through
Hey, do
like
you seem
a
to
few
read
months.
like very long, kind of heavier books? Does this fall in line with that?
It is a very long, heavier.
Yeah.
It's gonna
It's
take him three and
actually
a half months,
yeah,
Alex.
yeah. Like so, typically, I like to run through one book really quick and um, or not really quick, but kind of at a more consistent pace. And this year, because of the book club that I'm kind of putting together, it has been chaos for me to start the year because I'm reading 3 books at a time, and I knew it would
Gosh.
take me to longer to get through this, but um, it is so good. It keeps pulling me in, and I'm like rushing to catch up on the book club reads to
Hmm.
to make sure I've read them, and even then, I'm not doing that super successfully so far. But
What did I say? Better not
yeah,
perfect, right?
yeah, yeah, exactly. And I'll have time next month. But it's been a really good book. It's, you know, trying to figure out how he's going to remember this movie, what's going to happen next. There's always kind of little steps he's taking. It was published in 2022 as well,
Hmm.
so it's a pretty new book, but
Yeah.
it's very very intriguing for me. And yeah, that's one of them. And then I guess to kind of transition, my other two current reads are um, books that I'm reading through the book club that I've started this year, which is um, each month I'm picking 2 books. And the goal of reading 2 books in a month is to kind of pick books that aren't really the same audience,
Hmm.
where so you've got something a little more, I guess you would say, book talk popular, or, you know, more mainstream popular, where a lot of people kind of think that stereotype of those books are their quick, easy, cheap reads, for
Yeah.
lack of a better word. Um, and then something more that's introductory literature, where um, I think a lot of um, like reading slumps kind of happen for a couple of reasons. Either it's a book that's a little too big and heavy for you, or you're reading the same thing over and over and you're just kind of burnt out with the same story with different names. And I
Hmm.
think not knowing where to go and on the more literary side of things can be very intimidating. So to have books that I've chosen that kind of are a little more approachable, at least in my mind. Who knows? I could be way off on my on my guess, but I think they're a little more approachable. They're shorter books. They're easier to kind of get through and pick up, and they kind of follow themes that the more popular TikTok books are going through as well, sometimes. And it's just a way for different groups in the same sort of world to connect, as well
Hmm.
as um, giving people a little bit of an introductory look into challenging themselves a little bit more, or understanding that, you know, sometimes books are fun just because books can be fun. you know?
Absolutely. I'm curious so you've picked your books. I kind of went through a little bit. So you've picked the books for the entire year and you've kind of assigned what books you have for each month. How
Yep.
did you decide on what books to read
Um,
or to pick?
I yeah, I just kind of picked.
Like a
Um,
dartboard?
yeah, sort of. So I had a really good read through of. So I'll use January as an example. We're reading The Trial by Franz Kafka and Hard Rain Falling by Don Carpenter. Uh, Very different-ish books, but they kind of still play on the same themes. Where in both books, the protagonist is kind of being um, challenged by the the law in some way or another, and so they have that sort of connecting theme in a sense. And but one's a lot more like, I feel like Franz Kafka is quite surreal, kind of tough to distinguish, hard to read, but Don Carpenter is a little more approachable, and they're telling the same story, just different words, kind of.
Yeah.
That's why you have
Is
different
that
published
going to
books, right?
be a trend throughout your book picks for each month? They're going to be similar books from a different perspective.
Um, I mean, some of them are a lot more obvious in that sense. Other ones, it's like sometimes it's just this is a these are a couple of quick reads that I can fit together somehow. Um,
Okay.
they'll, there's a few examples that are definitely a lot better. January being one. There's one month we're reading um, To Kill a Mockingbird along with oh shoot, what's the one by, was it Delilah Owens? Crawdads, where the crawdads sing.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
And even
You read
though
that
they're
one,
not,
Carl. Did you read it, Carla?
I
That was a
did
one.
late. It was a book club book, and I didn't read it until like, I don't know, a year later. And I liked it.
Yeah.
I've read both of them, and I found that, like, obviously they're very different stories, very different, um, but they're both kind of going through a trial in the South, and
Yeah.
being challenged that way. So that, I think that's going to be a good comparison month.
That's so cool.
Then
I saw you had the 100-year-old man that climbed out the window. I read that one. I loved it.
yeah, that I think is in March or April.
April, and it's paired up with The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde.
Yeah, so that connection is just a book about a man, I think. So
Yeah.
we'll see how they go. Like some of them, like I haven't read either of those. So a lot of the books that I've picked, I'm trying to have read one and not read one, so
Yeah.
I can kind of focus my energy. And at least one of my reads is more review than actually reading it for the first time.
Carla,
Doesn't
there's
happen every time.
A Stephen King book in July,
Which one?
Misery,
I haven't read it.
along with
I've only
Fahrenheit
seen the movie.
451.
I've been thinking about it because it's been coming up a lot lately in like the reels and stuff. I don't know what my algorithm is, to be quite frank.
I don't know that you really have.
I'm not sure. Um, but
Carla,
yeah, it's been popping
You
up.
read Tender is the Flesh, right?
Yes.
That's scheduled for October.
Okay, have you read that one, Paige?
I loved it. I was actually just
God,
talking about it today.
I cannot. It's been like well over a year. It's been like 2 years already. I cannot
Yeah.
get away from that book. It every now and then it just hits me, and I'm like,
Yeah, I so um I feel like it's almost a this generation's warning, the same way that 1984 was back in the 40s.
a little
Like
bit,
Carla's
yeah.
I
aggressively shaking her head, yes.
yeah, like it's just like, if
It's
you're listening to the government blindly, this is like the potential way that this world could go.
not only the government thing of that book, but the human aspect of just the
Oh,
complete switch of humanity, just completely gone. No empathy whatsoever for these creatures that are
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
It's insanity. That book was amazing. If you can get through the cannibalism, um,
So you're saying it's not for me, right? I think that was
it's
our discussion.
100% not for you, Alex. No.
No,
But if you can get past that aspect of the book, which is like a huge aspect of the book, it's such a great read, and it will make you have thoughts about just so many things, like people, animals, how we see consumerism and consumption, and just loved it. Loved it, loved
yeah,
it, loved it. That
yeah,
author, man, is harsh.
yeah. I've never read any of her other stuff.
Oh man.
It's like uh, I really want to, but I've heard such mixed reviews. I'm worried that
Mixed,
you know,
really?
yeah, I've heard that like it's really hit or miss with her. I guess
Oh,
depending, yeah, everybody seems to collectively love Tender as the Flesh, but I guess what you're taking out of it, maybe people aren't expecting what comes next, and
yeah.
um,
What else have you read, Carla, by
so
that author?
The Unworthy,
Mm.
the dystopian, after the world has basically ended because of climate change, and she is in that cult, that women's cult, where they torture each other to
Oh
ascend,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, just oh my God, that book was so good too.
oh, that's
Jiminy
good. That's
Crickets, but
reassuring.
yeah,
That's
that's why I was
reassuring.
surprised to hear that there were mixed feelings
I
about
feel
her
like every
work.
author has that same thing. Like you're not going to be
Yeah,
about like 100% with any, no matter how great you are. I think there's always going to be people that hate it or love it.
I mean, she's
yeah.
been a hit for me twice. I've only read two of her books, but I think she's amazing. She does not pull her punches. Everything is it hits you right in the gut, and I
That's
love it.
that's definitely reassuring. I'm definitely gonna have to add her
Yeah,
higher up on my TBR. That's
yeah.
So
already
Paige,
endless. Yeah.
before Carl and I go into what we've been reading, I want to hear a little bit more about how this will work this year. So you have these kind of assigned books for each month, and then is it just following you on Instagram, or are you going to have like
Yeah.
chats, like closed chats with the people? Like, do you sign up or do you just follow along, or how does it work?
So essentially, the way that I've been kind of running it so far is I'll put a couple posts either in my stories. I think I usually put one post on my um, profile itself, and just as a call out to say, if you want to join in the month, let me know. And I put up like you know, the polls or whatever, just so people I know who I can add, and I add them into a group chat on Instagram, and I just so every Saturday this month, I've been putting up a few discussion questions that are relevant to both books. So there's no pressure to read both books. If you only want to
Mhm.
read one, you're more than welcome. If you want to read both, perfect. If you've read them and you just want to be part of the discussion, great. I there's very little structure in that sense. Um, but what I do is I'll ask a kind of general question related to both books, and I let the conversation kind of take off and evolve in the way that it wants to. Pop in and try and keep it going a little bit. And you know, the goal for that is to kind of see that, oh, we're talking about both books here, and everybody has these like there's the opinions that you have in both books and how they relate, and hopefully it makes both of the books more approachable, where
Mhm.
next month, for example, we're reading Homegoing and Giovanni's Room. If somebody wants to read one of them, maybe they'll start to realize, hey, you know what, I'm getting a similar vibe off of this. I'll add it to my TBR, and you
Yeah.
don't necessarily need to be part of the group. And I've never encouraged like forcing people to be active or whatever, but
Yeah.
you um it's been really good so far. It's been kind. It's not like people are going, oh, you're reading garbage books or
Oh,
whatever,
that's
right?
good.
So yeah, um I like to believe my followers are respectful. So,
I think
and
in
it's been
general,
true
like the
so
books,
far. Yeah.
I think the Bookstagram community in general, like people that read books, it's kind of how I feel also about camping. Like We used to go
Yeah.
camping a lot more, but like I've never met someone camping that's mean or angry or miserable. Like I feel like generally
Yeah.
people that go camping are nice people, and I think it's generally the same about people that read books.
Yeah.
Carla, you seem a little hesitant.
Well, I was gonna say, what are you trying to say? Because I don't like camping.
It's not mutually exclusive. Like it's not like only camping people are happy people. But I'm saying within that niche, I feel like generally those people are nice and happy. And I think
Yeah,
it's kind of the same with the reading community.
Yeah.
I have a question about this book club since it is online and you are prompting through Instagram. Is this
Yep.
something that people are going to be able to go back to previous months and maybe pick up a conversation that is like 3 months old or whatever? Will people still be able to engage that way, or is it specifically for the current month?
So my um plan is very right nowish. I've never thought about that. So very good question. I think what I my plan was is for every month I'd start a new group chat, but that question kind of makes me wonder if I should just adapt it and whoever wants to leave can leave and whoever wants to stay can stay and kind of scroll back. But
Well,
um
the reason that I was asking is because I, for example, am a very like lazy reader in terms of being told what to read. So like the
yeah.
book club that we're in, I'll like the Crawdad book, I did not read it during the month that we discussed it. I read it way after. And then I texted the person who had picked it and I was like, "Oh my God, I should have read it." And I obviously was not able to be part of the conversation because it happened in person. But since this is online, maybe a person who liked that book enough to want to talk about it months later will want to discuss it with a new reader.
Uh yeah, so I guess that would probably be best to kind of have each month separated, and as people kind of read through the book that I can add them in, or because it's like a group chat, right? It's
Oh, bummer, bummer, bummer.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, yeah.
but I
Look, Carla, you've got the inside lane here to page to get like
yeah,
added into a combo later on if we
Just
needed
be
to,
like,
and
yeah,
then you can scroll through and
do
then
you like
revive the
my typing?
conversation.
yeah.
It's like I'm typing with all four fingers.
Hand typing. Yeah,
I feel like before we forget, we gotta do a call out. So your Instagram handle is flippin FLIPPIN underscore. That's what that's called, I think.
yep,
Pages 10.
yes, yep,
I'm
that's
curious where
my
the name
yeah.
came from.
When I was starting my Bookstagram account, I wanted a play on words for my name, and that was where it goes. And ten's been my hockey number since I was a kid.
I
And
love it.
yep, flipping pages was taken. I needed a number, and 10 was available. So yeah, that's where it came from.
Okay, nice.
Carla and I know the struggle is real. We went through a lot of iterations for our podcast and trying to find things that were available and that made sense and that
Yeah,
represented both of us without being
yeah.
too
And that
cheesy
was
or
hopefully engaging, like the question,
Mhm.
what have you been reading? It asks the question of other people as well.
And it
Yeah.
certainly gets to the point of the podcast and the social, right? Like it's all based around what everyone's been reading, and it's great. It works so well for you guys.
Thank you.
Which brings me to a really
Yeah.
great question. Carla, what have you been reading?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so
And Paige, you are part of the co-hosting podcast, so feel free to interject with your thoughts and
oh
comments
yeah.
at any point.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna start off with An Evil Premise by T. Marie Vandelly. Um, okay, this book was like, have either of you ever read The Yellow Wallpaper?
Negative.
No, but I have it.
Okay. The Yellow Wallpaper is freaking amazing. It's incredibly short and it takes you through a person losing their mind. So they go crazy. This book kind of reminded me of that in the sensation that I got while I was reading it. I felt like I was going crazy alongside with her.
Oh,
Yo. It was really, really good. I liked it a lot. Basically, the premise of the book is this. There's this a
Wait, hold on,
sister.
I'm confused. So are you talking about an evil premise or are you talking about
Yes.
the other book?
No, the yellow wallpaper is just it
You're saying
reminded
it's
me a lot
similar?
of the yellow
Okay,
wallpaper in the sensation that I got
got
like
it.
in my chest and in my
Right,
throat.
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause like I remember when I read the yellow wallpaper, I was sitting in a hallway waiting for a class to start and I yelped in the hallway during one of the scenes. I was like, "Oh my God," because it like if you go along with the story, it will grab you, that
We'll
little
take
tiny
you
book.
with it.
Yeah. So an evil premise made me remember that sensation of
Got
like,
it. Hmm.
yeah, of just feeling out of control and not knowing what's going on in your own brain. So basically what's going on here is that a sister author, a sister who is an author has fallen into a coma after having had like a crazy situation happen in her house, and she apparently got hit by a car as well. We don't know what happened to her when we're introduced to this character because she's in a coma. Her sister comes over, and her name is Jewel, and she goes to the hospital. Jewel is also an author, but the sister in a coma is successful, whereas Jewel is not. So, the doctor talks to her about what's going on with her. She has like this really messed up stuff going on with her face. And
Mhm.
she's like, what is going on with her? Right. So she gets in touch with her publisher. Her publisher tells her that she needs to turn in a book like immediately. She was supposed to turn in this book a while back. What the heck is going on? She kind of ropes the sister into, and the sister wants to be roped because she wants this publisher to see her as a good option to be her publisher as well. So um she finds the manuscript, and it turns out to be a horror story, which the coma sister Deirdre is not usually a horror author.
I can
um
identify.
and and that's where, huh?
I can identify with not liking horror stuff.
I mean, but maybe you can do like Deirdre and want to dip your toe.
Yeah. I mean, I
So
tried, but
I know. So anywho, what happens is that she finds the manuscript, and that's where it all goes wonky. The manuscript is apparently a grimoire,
okay.
and it will get into your head and it will start making you kill people.
Fun stuff.
Or will it? And that's where you
It's
don't
making me think
know.
of like go Goosebumps.
No. Although I did love Goosebumps.
Well, there's like the
Wait,
one where like he writes the stories and they come to life, you know?
no, I don't remember that.
No, I've seen that. Well, I saw the movie with the kiddos with Jack Black.
Oh, I didn't see that. But I
It's a
did
really
used
good
to
one.
read Goosebumps as a child, which is
Yeah.
not surprising because
I
here
think
I
No.
am.
I think that's what got me into horror too.
Oh my God,
See?
R.L.
Yeah,
Stein.
You wait.
yeah.
See, I did
And then
not
the
read
show.
Goosebumps as a child. I think this is where I went wrong.
You did it?
No. I read like I read Anne of Green Gables, Little House on the Prairie.
Well, read some Goosebumps. Maybe that will introduce you to horror.
Yeah.
And this time next year, you'll be
But
reading
Carla,
Stephen King.
your notes, you're talking about sister jealousy
Yes.
and siblings and whether that's a real thing. I guess I don't have, well, I mean, I have siblings now, but I didn't grow
Yeah.
up with my sisters. I did grow up with a lot of cousins, but I don't think it's quite the same. Paige, do you have siblings?
Yep, I have a brother and a sister.
Are there
I
any
mean,
real jealousy emotions between you?
yeah.
You'd have to ask them. I'm not a jealous person, but they might be. But I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not too much.
Well, with the reason that I put that note in is because these two sisters being authors, Jewel is incredibly jealous of the success that her sister has. And even goes as far as like thinking that it would be okay and maybe a good thing if her sister were to die, and
Ooh,
for her to
whoa,
take on the glory of having finished the book for Deirdre.
got it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of jealousy there in terms of like the success, a little bit of the money that has come from it. Just thinking that she is just as good, if not better, because she's able to write human connection better in her stories. So, yeah, that was interesting to me. I don't have siblings, so I don't have that to look on. So I didn't really know if this is something that is felt with siblings. I mean, obviously, I don't think that it's normal for you to think, oh, it's probably a good thing if my sibling dies, but
Yeah.
this is obviously very like heightened. But yeah, I mean, jealousy is like a very real emotion, and it can
I'm sure
be
it's real
really,
in
really bad.
some sibling relationships. I feel like it's definitely out there. I think I've been fortunate in my family, my cousins that have siblings, they all generally are very close or get along. But yeah, I'm sure there's relationships where they're not like that, where there's families that don't see each other very often or siblings that just absolutely hate each other.
There was always for us that feeling growing up, like especially around Christmas time, everyone's getting their gifts, and it's like, oh, why did why did they get this one and we got this one? And even if the cost is the same, you've got that you've got that jealousy. Is like, oh man, I could have asked for that and got it. We could have just had matching things, and it
Yeah.
it definitely does exist on a level.
That
So
struggle is
yeah,
very real. So
yeah,
we have a 12, 9, and 6-year-old, and that was a huge thing this Christmas too, where like they're definitely comparing and counting, like, okay, he has 5 and I got 3. And I'm like, okay, but his 3 are worth as much as your 5. And like
yeah,
that still doesn't like equate in their brains. And
Mm-hmm.
then one of them, like my oldest didn't, I don't know. He got a lot of books because he's a reader, whereas my middle one is more into like clothes and shoes. So we got a lot of shoes. So then my oldest was like, well, he got like 3 pairs of shoes. I'm like, yeah, but you don't care about shoes. And he does, but it means it
yeah,
has zero relevance to like how much grandma or I love you. Like having
right.
to explain that to each child too. Like that doesn't mean she loves him more or you less. It's just like trying to cater to your personality, but I think it's really
Well,
hard
and
for
then
kids
if
to
you think
understand
about
that.
it, also, shoes are something that can be shown to friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And books are not really things that you can share with a lot of people unless you have a circle of friends that likes books. So I
Yeah.
can, yeah,
It's
that's
tough,
we had
crazy.
man.
a our trouble this year. Our 8-year-old, we could find all the small trinkets in the world for stockings and stuff. We found so much for her, and then but we couldn't find any small stuff for our son's stocking whatsoever, who's
Mm,
13. And then on the other side of that, all the big gifts, we could have kept going with our 13-year-old,
Yeah.
and we couldn't find anything for our 8-year-old daughter. It was
So
crazy. It's
hard.
crazy. And it's like, do we spend $400 on little trinkets that we know she'll love for a minute? you know,
Yeah.
it was quite the year this year in that way.
It's interesting as they get older too, like their interests and stuff also change over time, and it's kind of harder to find things that fit into that. Oh yeah, I feel like that's a whole separate podcast we could just talk about.
So, yeah, especially when
parenting children.
everything's like, oh, I want road bucks and the I want a
Yes.
new app on my iPad. It's like, well, that's not a Christmas gift. Come on.
Well, my 8-year-old wanted a motocross bike, and I'm like, and no, it's like I'm telling you right now, Santa's not bringing
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
He's like, well,
yeah.
maybe, and I'm like, nope, that's
Well,
definitely
maybe.
No, if he does, I'm
maybe
bringing
Santa
it
can do it. I was
back.
like, Santa's definitely not bringing that.
If he does, I'm taking it back and getting a refund.
And I was like, I'm telling Santa that you can't have that.
Yeah.
It was funny. We
Uh,
did, I'm going to digress for just a quick story again, but we went to go see Santa and my oldest who kind of already knows, but about the whole reality, but he told Santa what he wanted, which is like the $1,000 Star Wars Lego Death Star, whatever. And this Santa apparently is a Lego aficionado, and he looked at us and he's like, "Yeah, that's out of my budget, buddy. Like, I know my Legos, and I know that that's."
I like that Santa was cool with you guys.
Yeah.
Well,
And
like, I loved it. Like, my oldest, even though he knows, he was still kind of trying to play the game and be like, "Well, if Santa will say yes, and like got stopped in his tracks. He was so upset. He's like, "Man, not even
That
Santa will give me a
backfired.
yes." Yeah. It's like in A Christmas Story. Um, okay. Did you have
uh
anything else, Carla, on an
well,
evil
yeah, I
premise?
just basically the book makes a killer out of you, or maybe you're already a killer. Maybe you're just going crazy. And then I liked the ending. I think that this book, it really delivers on what it tells you it's going to deliver. It does not lie to you. So
Mhm.
I give it a 3.8 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah, anywho, what have you been reading? Tell me.
So I did read Chasing Stardust, which was our book club pick for January. Did you end up reading
I
it?
did not, but a lot of people were like mad about it. They did not. They were not cool with having read it. But you saw Amy, she liked it. So it just kind of
Good.
depends on where you're looking at this book. From which
Um,
perspective?
I thought it was fine. Like it was fine. It is a young adult book, I think. Like your main character is very young, like 18. No, older than 18. She graduated high school 2 years ago, so maybe she's 20. Um, so that's your point of view is a 20-year-old. So I think there's some of that that's a little bit harder for us older folk to still kind of be in that mindset. There was definitely some, like at the very outset, so the whole premise is that they're going on this, they're following the Ziggy Stardust tour throughout the US. So there's a lot of David Bowie song references and following his tour across. And she's supposed to be spreading her mom's ashes. She's supposed to do this with her sister, and then her sister gets hurt. And the main character decides, fuck it, I'm doing it without you and I'm doing this alone. Which in my mind, I'm like, that's a shitty thing to do to your sister, like,
It
regardless of
Yeah, it
the
is.
background. Like
Yeah.
her thing was like, well, I've never gotten to do anything first because I'm the younger child, and she's always gotten to do everything first and whatever. Like, I'm gonna do this. And that was,
Sibling rivalry again.
yes. But right away, that was like a red flag for me. Like, I don't think I like a character that's just gonna entirely preclude their sibling from also experiencing what's supposed to be like a very important finality, like for their mom's ashes.
Yeah.
So I think right away I was like, I don't love her. And then the rest of it was fine. It's just like following her traipsing through the US, and she meets a guy and there's like, backstory there. And it was entertaining. I was entertained by it. I didn't love it. I think if you
Okay.
were like a big David Bowie fan, maybe there would be a little bit more interest in that. Like I think every chapter was a song title, I think. I recognized a few. Um, but it was good. Did you go to book club? Were you there for the discussion?
I wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, because we did the thing the day before and I didn't want to drive out twice.
Makes perfect sense. But yeah, I mean, it's on my list of books. I checked it off.
We do have we have three people in the group that are obsessed with David Bowie. And I have never gotten to that level of, I like this so much that I'm interested in anything that's written about or in commemoration or
Yeah.
like how there's that huge interaction between what happened to their mom and scattering the ashes and the tour. I
Yeah.
just I've never loved anything that much. Never in my life.
No, I think that's also really hard for me to identify with.
Yeah, I've never understood that.
Paige, do you disagree? Do you
I,
have something that you're
I I have it in my life. I'm not that far obsessed, but I was named after Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin because my dad was a gigantic fan. So I mean, it's not quite the same, but I get it. I understand the
Yeah.
fandom.
Okay.
And yeah, it washed off on me. Like I'm a huge Zeppelin fan, but
I love
I
that.
wouldn't name my kids after anybody in the band. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I've never, yeah, that's never been like a thing. Like I growing up, it was Sailor Moon and Buffy the Vampire Slayer that I just loved. But even then, I've never gone to a convention. I have no interest in actually like becoming a fan. I just really like stuff, but that doesn't but I don't dive deep. Mm-mm.
It
Interesting.
was, I
I
was a
would
huge Enrique Iglesias fan before the crossover, when he still had the mole and when he was still singing love ballads in Spanish.
I
And if you,
remind me of one of them.
oh my God,
Enrique Iglesias.
Bailamos, there's that one. Um,
That was already pop, wasn't it? What was a ballad? Hold on.
those were all ballads.
There's a
Um,
there's a fun video online of my cousin going up and having shots with Enrique on stage in Toronto.
oh, that's
One of our
fun.
friends' claim to fame is that she was a girl that got pulled on stage and got kissed by him, and it makes me a little bitter every time. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh.
Um, but my locker was like all pictures of him. I had notebooks where I would cut out all of the like when he would be in magazines, and I would buy those Spanish magazines, at the Mexican markets, the like tabloid Mexican magazines, and I would cut out all of the ones that had him in it. It was a little bit much, but I did go to concerts. I had a little teddy bear from one of his concerts that I kept for way too long.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna name my kid Enrique, and I've moved on since.
Okay. It
I
was the loss of
honestly,
the mole that did it for you.
it was honestly, it really was. Don't go changing yourself to make yourself popular. You're
Yes.
perfectly fine the way you are. Um,
Right.
I'm really disappointed in myself. Experiencia religiosa. Remember that one?
Oh, see, see.
That was a big one.
That's true. That
See,
was a
those were
big
like
one.
all soft. Like now it's all like reggaeton and
Yeah, that's
um
true. Okay. I remember that song. Okay.
how did we get onto this top? Oh, the
Being a fan.
being a
Yeah.
fan. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I thought it was fine. Carla, do you think we have time for each of us to do maybe one more book?
I really want to tell you about The Ruins.
Okay.
I read The Ruins and so basically they're in Mexico and there's three groups of people that get together. They're American, German, and Greek. The Greek group does not speak English.
Hmm.
And through circumstance, they end up going to these Mexican ruins, but the folk that live around that area are like, hey, don't go up there. But like obviously they don't speak English, so they try to like kind of like circumvent them and they end up going up there. And once they're up there, they're like, you got to stay up there, suckers, because otherwise they're going to kill them with bows and arrows. They are no longer
Ooh.
allowed outside of the ruins. And it turns out that there's killer vines up there, man. They're
Okay.
cannibal vines. No, wait.
Oh, I thought you were saying
Carnivorous.
vibes. You're vines,
Carnivorous. No,
Vines.
no, plants, vines.
Plants. Okay.
So they are carnivorous vines up there. And we just go along for the show of like these vines terrorizing this group of people, and it gets wild. You, I mean, you think to yourself, how interesting could it be for vines to try to eat you? I I cannot explain to you how crazy it gets
You
and
put in
how
your notes
cringy
that
it
it
gets.
is, you put in your notes that it's cringe inducing. By that, do you mean like ew, or do you mean like
A
what do you
little
mean by
bit ill, a little
yeah?
bit ill, and a little bit like, oh God, don't do that. Don't do that. Like that. Like that.
On a
Woo!
scale of 1 to 10, how graphic is the carnivorous like vine part of it?
Like an 8.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's one part in particular where it's like, oh my God,
Position
holy
involved.
cannoli. It yeah. Uh, I mean, it it just gets crazy.
Okay, how far into it are you?
I finished it
Oh, okay.
after I wrote that note, I finished it. It's okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about how the book is actually written. It's not written from the perspective of anybody. It's written very clinically narrated, telling you this is what's happening, this is what this person is thinking, this is what this person is experiencing. I loved that it was so clinical in its
Ooh,
descriptions
I like
of
that.
like what was happening because and I mean obviously it wasn't actually clinical, but it felt very like bam bam bam, this is what's happening. It
Yeah.
felt um yeah, it made it feel very tense
Hmm.
because um it's like reading a report of what
It's
happened in a
reminding me of
way.
the girl with all the gifts was kind of like that, wasn't it? Like
I
there's
don't
like a,
remember feeling that way about
I
that
can't
book.
remember the writing style of it.
But this was very like this is what's happening. There's nothing that they can do about it, and you're just experiencing it with them by it kind of like makes you hover above the situation. But even though you're not with them as characters, you're not seeing it from their perspective, you still feel like everything that happens to them, like you can kind of like sense it in your skin. And
Oh,
I hated it and I loved
no,
it.
thank you.
I hated it and I loved it.
Paige, does this seem like something that would be up your alley?
Yeah, probably. I'm
Yeah.
I'm like on Goodreads, everything you guys are talking about. I'm in the midst of looking up. It sounds like something I'm probably going to read.
I
I
think
looked it
you,
Yeah.
up.
Carla, and my husband are all kind of aligned on your reading genres.
I have actually gone back to look up multiple times Maggie's Grave, which I am going to read at some point, which is something that Jeff recommended.
Yeah.
But yeah, I looked it up recently, but I want to go back to the ruins.
Yeah.
Hold on, because I did look up the ruins after I had finished it, and a lot of people were like not down with the book because they didn't like the characters. And it's like it doesn't matter if you like the characters or not. It's just I really didn't
Hmm.
understand the criticism of it. Um and
Maybe it's
maybe
because you enjoy the writing style and the
maybe
point of view, because I would normally need to have a character that I'm invested in.
people were just like, oh, they're just really they're shitty people. And it's like, yeah, but I disagree with that assessment
Hmm.
of them just because they don't have like some transcendent change in personality while they're there for like I think that they're there for like 2 or 3 days. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
no, your personality is not going to evolve in 2 or 3 days of being like eaten by
Eaten.
plants. Like, I don't understand what people were expecting of this. You're not
When
going
you
to
have like
have
a life-threatening experience, maybe there's like a coming to Jesus moment for most people, I think.
maybe, but realistically, I don't think that I would have
Yeah.
that kind of moment. I feel like I'd be like, let's cut down these plants, let's set them on fire. I wouldn't be like, oh, let me think about the meaning of life and how I treat my friends. No, F
That's
that. Get me
true.
off this ruins place.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
that's
you
where I got.
enjoyed it.
I
You
loved
liked
it.
it. What would be your rating?
4.7.
Look at you. Fantastic.
Okay.
Um, I will wrap up. I just finished Brimstone yesterday on audio. I know Carla, you're trying. Did you give up on Quicksilver? I hope you did.
Think I have because I've
Yeah,
moved on to a different book.
good for you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't love it. There's a lot of and Paige, I know you've listened to all of our episodes, but one of our
Yeah.
first ones I've talked about my dislike for the COCK language constantly
Oh,
throughout the book. There's a lot of
Mm.
it, and it just makes me feel, I don't know, it was kind
I
of like the Done and Dusted series where it's just a little too much
I didn't get to that
for me.
part of the first book. I don't think. Like I
There
just
is
got to
some
the
of it in
part
the
where
first
he's
book.
treating her badly.
there's some of it in the first book, and I think the second book really doubles down on the like very verbal, spicy scenes. And there's a lot of them, and I just had to kind of keep forwarding through them, which are probably some people's favorite parts, and I'm not judging those people. More power
Get
to you.
get your written porn. Get it.
Yeah, get to it, enjoy it, love it. Just yeah, and it leaves on a cliffhanger, and I just don't know that I have book 3 in me. I didn't
Okay.
love it, but
Have you read
left it off.
any of these types of books, Paige?
I've read Fourth Wing,
Okay.
There you
and
go.
this
Yeah.
I did the second one. The second one was so the first one I thought if they got rid of the sex scenes in it, it had the potential to be like this generation's Harry Potter type of book.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it really could have been that sort of level of book. The second one, I did not feel that at all. It
So
felt
you felt like if it had been young adult or more geared toward children, it could have been something humongous among a lot more
yeah,
people. Okay.
I think so. I think so. But then you half your audience by putting sex scenes in it, and um, yeah, I liked the first one well enough as an adventure. You kind of get through that scene for me. You just kind of buckle in and laugh a little. That's certainly not my
Buckle
speed.
in while they
Yeah,
unbuckle.
yeah. Hey, I see you took your belt off. I'm just gonna throw that on myself here. The second one, I did not feel like that at all. It felt like a lot of what the plot was just those two getting together and sneaking away and doing their thing. The third one, I was very on the fence about reading the third one, and I got about a quarter of the way through it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah. It's not necessarily the fault of the book itself. Like the plots of the book were interesting and kind of kept me going. It was just I felt like the plots that I was in for were not the focus anymore. Everything was kind of coming back to whatever their names are, the main
Violet
characters.
and Xaden. Am I in the right
Yeah.
Zayden.
series?
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
sounds about right.
Okay.
Yep. So I mean,
Well,
I've definitely given it a go.
I wouldn't have had an issue with Quicksilver and reading about their experiences and their trials and tribulations, except for the fact that like he is so rude to her. And I texted Alex that I just did not like the way that he was speaking to her, and I just can't I don't see me being cool with him as a character after. I mean, sorry to the people. Well, I mean, we curse here, so whatever.
Yeah.
He called her a bitch in Heat twice in one chapter, and that's not hot. So, like, aside from everything that's going on outside of that sentence, I don't like this character, and he's one of the main characters, so I just don't care about what happens there. And also, I don't see how anybody would want to fuck him after that.
Well, let me
So,
tell you, she does. Very much
good for
so.
her.
Yeah. There's definitely a turnabout there.
Okay, well,
I think there's a difference between writing an unlikable character and an asshole. you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like,
I mean,
and
I feel
he
like
certainly
enemies
sounds
to
the latter.
lovers. Enemies to
Yeah,
lovers is probably one of like the best tropes, I would say, if I had to choose one from like the very limited amount of these types of books that I've read. I would say that that's probably like the funnest one because I like a little bit of snark, but not just plain rudeness and callousness and vulgarity. Like that's vulgar. That's not
yeah,
sexy. I don't see that as sexy. I feel like vulgarity is not cute. So
yeah.
Oh,
Uh, I mean, it's not the same genre at all. But did you ever read American Psycho?
No, but I saw the movie.
Okay, so that character, I forget, I'm terrible with character names, but the main character in it, like he is a absolute uh bro dude type of character, and like from the first minute you realize how disgustingly unlikable he is. But
Oh.
having that dislike of him to me is kind of what made that the book and the movie, like that's what made it. Like you had to hate him. You couldn't have found a reason to like him, I don't
Well,
think.
he's a psychotic murderer.
Exactly, but
I
like
would hope
he's
so.
so he's so shallow that he doesn't even
Okay.
realize that he's going like, in the book there's like paragraph upon paragraph describing his outfits, and it's like this, it's a $10,000 suit, and I'm using my Gucci wallet today, and this and that,
Mm.
and his whole skincare routine. Even in the movie he had his whole skincare routine. He's so worried about his image towards everybody that it makes him unlikable, and obviously to the next level he's a murderer. But yeah,
Isn't
like
that
it's
like that's a sociopath, right? Like
yeah,
he has no depth as a human.
yeah,
And he's
uh,
and I feel like I remember that in the movie he's practicing on how to be a person.
right, yeah,
And that's why he acts that way though. Like because that's his only baseline for humanity is what they have and what they do, not who they are.
right. And he can't, and it's so good, and you have to, I feel like you have to hate him. You can have a very well hated character in a
Mm-hmm.
book and it can still be a good book, but if you're just being an asshole, it's
Mm-hmm.
just like, piss off. I don't need this. Like
Yeah.
there's, we got, I think we got through that whole phase of, you know, being that gross pickup artist
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Remember in the 20s you would do the negging or whatever as men, but
Yeah.
like, you're just this asshole person. We're past that. Get over it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I hope that more people feel that same way because it's just not it's not an appetizing thing to see to read.
I, I'm sure some people love it, right?
Yeah.
Because they know it's fiction, I guess,
I suppose.
right?
Yeah, that
So
makes
it's
sense.
like, yeah, you know what? Like, this is the next level of, that sort of thing. And it's, I don't know. You can't judge people by what they read,
I'm
right?
struggling
Yeah.
on my response because I don't condone it at all, but I feel like there was a reason for it that leads to some kind of character arc later on. But you know
Okay.
me and me, and like I don't remember anything once I've read it. So there is like a turning point for both of
Okay.
them, but I can't remember why he was treating her that way to begin with. But it does not turn out to be his personality in the end. If that makes
Okay. That makes it a little bit better, but I don't
I know I'm not defending it, but I feel and if I had my
much like that earlier conversation that we had, even once something has been explained and you're like, "Oh, but that's not the way that I meant it." It's like, "Well, you still said
you
it,
still said
ho."
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm like struggling with my response here because yeah, it's a
Yeah.
shitty thing to say, but yeah.
There's definitely a level of tolerance, right? You can
Yeah.
take a bad character for so long, but there's a turning point for everybody. It might be one paragraph for someone, it might be half a book for someone else, it could be three books in a series
Mhm.
that, if it's tolerable, it's tolerable. But
Yeah.
everyone has that limit. It's like, it's not worth it for me. I don't care what he does now. Even if
Yeah.
he turns into Prince Charming, I
Yeah.
still hate him.
That's where I am right now. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter to me what happens with this Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Kingfisher.
No, the
I,
Quicksilver, the pools of Quicksilver. I don't care what
I
happens to
know,
them.
but the guy's name is Kingfisher,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Which I've already discussed my issues with that
Yes.
name. Um,
All right. So do you
do
guys
we
want
want
to
to?
say what you will be reading?
Yeah, I was going to see if Paige wants to share out his February selections,
Oh,
if you have them handy.
yeah, I mentioned him a little bit earlier, but we're doing Giovanni's Room by
Yes.
James Baldwin and Homecoming by Ya Gyasi. I don't know if that's how you say her name,
I
but
love that it's not just
yeah.
me who never knows how to pronounce the author's
Okay,
names.
yeah. Nope. I don't remember character names. I'm terrible at pronunciation. I'm very much Alex's spirit. Alex is my
Yeah,
spirit
you're not
animal.
alone.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are the two for next month. For a personal read, I'm going to get through Antkind, and I think my next one's probably going to be East of Eden. I like
Okay. Oh,
having a
I've
nice
read that,
good
but I
book.
don't remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What, Carla?
Nice.
I know. But yeah, I read East of Eden. I remember what I do remember is that when it was done, I was like, this was my reaction, huh? Like that,
Huh.
huh? Look at
All
that.
right. I've got a reaction to look forward to.
But I don't
Carla, what's
remember
on
the
your reading list?
storyline at all. I'm sorry, what?
What's on your reading list?
So I am starting The Last House on Needless Street, which so far I think I've gotten like 3 chapters in, maybe a little bit more. It's from the perspective of a middle-aged man, and his cat also has
Oh,
perspective in there.
Oh,
So far, I've really enjoyed that. It's super cute in the way that the cat describes the bond that she has with her human.
hmm.
However, the book is probably going to be kind of difficult because it is about a child that went missing 11 years ago. And the middle-aged man was one of the people that was looked at as a suspect. So I don't know where we're going with that. He
Yeah,
seems to be in a permanent state of depression from what I've gathered. Kind of dirty, kind of smelly, kind of maybe with some mental health issues as well. Um, and I don't know, that kind of feels very heavy within the
mhm.
book. Like I feel not ennui while reading it, but it's depressed sister on of ennui. That's the sensation that I'm getting from this book. So even though I like seeing these different perspectives so far, I feel like I'm in for a sad story.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. And then another book that I'm going to read is, I think, Victorian Psycho. Let me look. Hold on, please.
Oh,
Let's see.
Last House is good.
It is? You've read it?
I have, yeah.
And
I was
okay.
just kind of reviewing my review of it,
Yeah.
and I feel like as I've gotten away from it farther, I've enjoyed it more.
Oh,
Like
wow.
my memory grows on it because I said it was just an okay read initially.
Yeah.
Uh, but I, from what I'm remembering of it, based on what you've said and what I'm kind of remembering, yeah, you're on the right track. And I'm
I
not going to
am
give
going
you
to
any
be reading a
spoilers.
depressing book.
Probably, if I'm remembering the correct book,
Yeah.
I think there's a different edition than what this Goodreads is showing me. Um, if it's the
Yeah.
book I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure you're in for a pretty interesting twist.
Oh, okay.
ooh, Carla
One
loves a good twist.
I like,
Good, good,
yeah,
good.
I like a pretzel.
Nice.
So one thing is, definitely if you don't react well to animals dying, there was one scene in the beginning-ish of the book where somebody did do something really fucked up to some birds.
Mhm.
So if you're not cool with reading that, don't, maybe don't, I don't know,
Just don't do it.
don't do it, or immediately skip those few pages. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's what I'll be reading. I don't know what Victorian Psycho is about because it's just it's on my borrowed. I haven't even started it, but that is what my next book will be after this one.
great. Mine are still carryovers from last month. They're like physical books, which I find a lot harder to find the time
Mm.
for. But I need to read The Last Slaughter by Rebecca Yarros, which is like my sister book club. So I need to get that. But again, I feel like it's going to be a little heavy at the end, so I've been avoiding it. And then The Strength of the Few by Eilington, I need to get that done as well. Not get it done. I want to read it. I just haven't. But it's a lot harder for me with a physical book to carry that around and find the time to read it. But
Yeah.
I'm hoping. Yeah. Well, great. Paige, thank you so much for joining us and dealing with our little banter here and for sharing about your project. I hope Carla and I can jump in at some point this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for having me. I hope, like I said, even if you hop in just for the conversation or whatever, I'm happy to have more people, right?
Yeah, thank you. And thanks
It's
for the
it's fun.
continuous support on our page. It's always so nice to see you sharing our
Always.
stuff and listening to the podcast.
Yeah, thank
The,
you.
the banter is always fun. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and your guys' dynamic is so good. So it's
Aw,
worth, it's worth all of it.
Thank
thank you
you.
so much.
Yeah.
All right, well, happy reading, everybody.
Bye, guys.
All right, bye. Thanks, Paige.
Yeah, no worries.
Bye.
Bye.